Jackie.
All right. I'd like to call to order the County Council regular meeting for Tuesday, October the 7th, 2015. Clerk, please call the roll.
Calling the roll, Mr. Schron. Mr. Schron is absent today. Ms. Conwell?
Here.
Mr. Jones?
Here.
Ms. Brown?
Here.
Mr. Hairston? Ms. Simon? Mr. Greenspan?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Germana?
Here.
Mr. Gallagher? And Council President Brady.
Here.
You do have a quorum.
And could we have a motion to excuse Councilman Strawn?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Nays. Ayes have it. Councilman Strawn is excused. Pledge allegiance. Under silent meditation, I'd like to honor our colleague with a moment of silence for his mother, Esther, who lived to be a very young 98. Okay. Are there any public comments related to the agenda?
Yes, there is, Mr. President. Mr. Puri?
This is non-agenda.
Oh, my apologies. Reverend Pinkney Butts.
Good evening, everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you. And please let Councilman Shrine know that I do hope that all is well with him in his absence. For the agenda items, for 2015, 171 and 219, I see the casino revenue funds. I brought this information to the attention of some of my fellow clergy because I was stating that I believe that the church is in a position to help you so that you don't have to get gambling money to do your projects that you're working on in the county. And if you would like to, I'm offering an opportunity for some of my colleagues, clergy, to meet with you so that we can give you other options other than gambling money and the tragedies that befall behind gambling funds. For the 218, the resolution 218, when I was in my studies, my biblical studies, before I came to you, not today, but at other times, I was doing some research and I found that there was a period of time when taxing and tithes were the result of funds and revenue from battle and war. And I'm praying that any decisions that you make henceforth and forevermore will not be funds as a result of more war. Because the Word of God says in the book of Isaiah, the 58th chapter, we're not to fast for strife and debate. And it's time to repair the breach in the broken relationships. I won't be able to stay for the full meeting for the other public comments, so I'm going to just conclude because I need to go check on my grandchildren. I will be speaking and doing a prayer because it's the 6-year memorial of the Imperial Avenue murders on the 29th. And I ask that at the decisions that you make this evening, to please consider that. I want to get rid of all these angry people. I'm tired of bodies dropping, whether they're male or female, whether they're black or white, whether young or old. I want to stop the production and sale of guns. I don't want bodies just coming up. And I'm concerned about the women being killed on 93rd Street between Bessemer and Harvard. The murderer is still not addressed. Please look deeper. and consider the matters I've been bringing to you, not just my personal ones, but other ones that I've been bringing to you. Because when I leave here, I'm up in the middle of the night praying and interceding on behalf of the decisions that you're making. And I don't want us in another place where we need to build a larger prison. Thank you. You all have a blessed evening.
Thank you. Do we have anybody else?
Not at this time.
Okay. I'd like to have an motion to approve the minutes as printed in the agenda for October 13th Committee of the Whole, October 13th regular meeting, and October 20th Committee of the Whole. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. The only announcement by the council president is I know we've all been putting in a lot of time. Every 2 years we do this. There are other times when we also put in a lot of time around bigger issues and difficult issues. But these biennial budgets are really important, maybe the most important work we do, collectively over a 2-year period. So I just want to thank people for focusing and working hard. The council's been working very hard to understand the budget, and we've still got a lot of work to do. So hang in there, and let's get this done. Any message from the county executive?
Yes, thank you. First, I echo your comments, thanking all the council members for all the work they're putting in on the budget. We appreciate that. It seems that this is Innovation Week in Cuyahoga County. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of appearing at the 13th Annual Medical Innovation Summit. The summit's organized by the Cleveland Clinic Innovations Group. They've executed 450 licenses, issued 700 patents, and created 75 spin-off companies that have collectively raised more than $1 billion in grants. There were almost 2,000 people in attendance from all over the world at the summit this week. And today I spoke to attendees at the Case Western Reserve Innovation Summit, which also attracted hundreds of participants who were interested in exploring new models of innovation. And last week, NASA celebrated its 100th anniversary. As I think you all know, NASA's been a leader in innovation locally and nationally. So I think we should all be very proud that Cuyahoga County is becoming recognized as a national and international leader in innovation. Thank you.
Thank you. Committee report. Legislation introduced by council. Committee report and consideration of a resolution of council for second reading.
Resolution number 2015-0171, authorizing a casino revenue fund loan in the amount not to exceed $4 million to City of Euclid for the benefit of Phase 2 of the Waterfront Improvement Plan located in the City of Euclid, directing the Director of Development or his or her designee to prepare all documents to effectuate said loan, directing and authorizing the county executive and or Director of Development to execute all documents consistent with said loan and this resolution.
If there's no discussion, this item will be on the November 10th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Legislation introduced by the executive. I'd like to have a motion to suspend the rules.
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor of suspending the rules say aye. 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 The ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Resolution number 2015-0217, amending the 2014-2015 biennial operating budget for 2015 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations, for appropriation transfers, and for cash transfers.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Councilman Greenspan.
Thank you. Mr. President, I have a proposed substitute which my colleagues have in front of them. After reviewing the biweekly fiscal agenda, there's an item regarding the Huntington Park Garage which the proposed substitute removes from the legislation, merely for the fact that today was the day the deadline for bids was to be submitted. So this number very well may change, and I believe it would be appropriate at this time to withdraw this item pending the review and recommendation of the administration for the bids. I am not recommending that the item to move the bond forward on our agenda Resolution 2015-0218 be removed, just merely the appropriation as stated in the current resolution.
Any questions for the sponsor of the substitute?
Mr. President, I make a motion to substitute Resolution 2015-0217 with the proposed substitutes submitted and presented to council members.
Second.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? All those in favor of accepting the substitute to the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Substitute is accepted. And now we need a voice vote to accept the resolution on its merits as substituted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, and the resolution has been adopted as substituted. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution number 2015-0218, authorizing the issuance and sale of county sales tax revenue bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $22 million for the purpose of paying or reimbursing the costs of constructing, reconstructing, refurbishing, renovating, upgrading, improving, and equipping the Huntington Park Garage, together with connectors and other appurtenances and work incidental thereto, and for the purpose of paying any capitalized interest on the bonds and paying the costs of issuance in connection therewith, authorizing the preparation and use of a preliminary official statement, authorizing the preparation, execution, and use of an official statement, approving and authorizing the execution of a trust indenture and a continuing disclosure agreement, authorizing other actions related to the issuance of the bonds, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Referred to the committee of the whole.
Resolution number 2015-0219, authorizing a casino revenue fund loan in the amount not to exceed $500,000 to City of Euclid for the benefit of the St. Clair Industrial Roadway Project located at St. Clair Avenue from East 222nd Street to Babbitt Road in the City of Euclid.
We're going to refer this to ED.
Resolution number 2015-0220, making an award and requisition number 33385 and authorizing an economic development fund loan to Jumpstart Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $2 million for administration of the Cuyahoga County Early Stage Loan Fund.
This will also go to ED.
Resolution number 2015-0221, making an award and requisition number 33461 and authorizing an economic development fund loan to Jumpstart Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $2,500,000 for administration of the Cuyahoga County Innovation Match for Pre-Seed Capital Fund Program.
Also go to economic development.
Resolution number 2015-0222, making an award and requisition number 34252 to Educational Service Center of Cuyahoga County in the amount not to exceed $602,000 for fiscal agent services for Families and Schools Together, Bright Beginnings, and Parent Services programs for the period October 1, 2015 through September 30, 2016.
This will be referred to education. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading.
Resolution number 2015-0204, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Erica Anthony to serve on the Cuyahoga County Public Defender Commission for the term January 1, 2016 through December 31, 2019.
Councilman Conwell, do you have any comments on this?
No, I'll make them when her name comes up again.
All right, this item, fine. This item will be on the agenda for November the 10th for consideration for a third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2015-0212, declaring the necessity of submitting to the electors of Cuyahoga County the question of a renewal levy of 4.8 mil Health and Human Services levy for the purpose of supplementing general fund appropriations for health and human or social services for a period of 8 years outside the 10 mil limitation in accordance with the provision of Section 5705.191 of the Ohio Revised Code, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This is the first of two parts of placing the mental health levy for March on the ballot. This item will be on the November 10th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2015-0213, determining to proceed with submitting to the electors of Cuyahoga County to renew an existing 4.8 mil Health and Human Services levy for the purpose of supplementing general fund appropriations for health and human or social services for a period of 8 years outside the 10 mil limitation in accordance with the provisions of Section 5705.191 of the Ohio Revised Code and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
On the November 24th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2015-0214, authorizing a contract with United Way of Greater Cleveland in the amount not to exceed $1,095,450 for fiscal agent services for emergency food purchases for Cuyahoga County residents for the period January 1, 2016 through December 31, 2016.
The final will be on the November 10th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2015-0215, authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 1200-260 with Mental Health Services for Homeless Persons Incorporated, doing business as Frontline Service for transitional housing program services for the period June 1, 2015 through September 30, 2015, to extend the time period to September 30, 2016, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,208,240.
And this item will also be on the 11:10 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules. Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor of suspending the rules say aye. Aye. All nays? The ayes have it. The rules have been suspended.
Resolution number 2015-0202, confirming the county executive's appointment of various individuals to serve on the Metro Health System Board of Trustees for an unexpired term ending February 28, 2021. Reverend Thomas Anthony Minor and Mitchell Schneider.
Move to adopt.
Second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair. This committee, the Human Resources Appointment and Equity Committee, asked our members to pass. This is a 10-member board. These are two individuals that are filling in slots that have been vacated, and I believe there is one opening still available.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
I'm going to abstain. Mr. President.
Councilwoman Simon is abstaining. The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted, and we'll be signing this because I believe these folks are going to be in a meeting tomorrow. Next resolution, item 2.
Resolution number 2015-0203, confirming the county executive's appointment of Erica Anthony to serve on the Cuyahoga County Public Defender Commission for an unexpired term ending December 31, 2015.
Move to adopt.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair. This Public Defenders Commission is a commission of 5 members. At least one has to be an attorney. This past commission has had 5 members being attorneys. Ms. Erica Anthony, although not an attorney, has experience with reentry, and this committee asked for approval. She was seen on the reason that we have one for second reading adoption, which we're talking about now, is because the term ends on 12/31/2015, and she was earlier on the agenda, which will be on the November 10th, to pick up from when that term ends.
Thank you, Councilwoman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2015-0206, making an award on requisition number 34074 to R.W. Clark Company in the amount not to exceed $1,179,073 for the Cuyahoga County Courthouse Americans with Disabilities Act Improvements Project.
Move to adopt.
Been moved and seconded.
Mr. Chairman, this was heard in committee. There was a number of bidders, competitively bid. This was underneath the estimate, and we recommend approval.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2015-0207, authorizing a revenue-generating utility agreement with Village of Newburgh Heights for maintenance and repair of storm sewers, sanitary sewers, and water lines located in County Sewer District number 22.
Move to adopt.
Moved and seconded.
Mr. Chairman, this was heard in committee. This is one of these agreements with the sanitary engineer that is requested by the village, and it'll be at no expense to the county. We recommend approval.
Thank you, Councilman. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2015-0208, authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 10546 with Pioneer Building 2 Limited for lease of office and warehouse space for a special waste convenience center located at 4750 East 131st Street, Garfield Heights, for the period November 1, 2010 through October 31, 2015, to extend the time period to October 31, 2020, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,179,525.
Mr. Chairman, move to adopt.
Second.
Moved and seconded.
Mr. Chairman, we heard this in committee. This is a renewal of a lease, and Public Works is very satisfied with the terms, and we recommend approval.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Chairman, would you add my name to 208
Name to the resolution
and 207?
in the previous resolution.
Resolution number 2015-0216, authorizing the execution of a cooperative agreement in furtherance of constructing, reconstructing, refurbishing, renovating, and improving permanent improvements to publicly owned park space known as Public Square, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
We've been moved and seconded. Councilman Greenspan.
Mr. President, this item was heard in committee. This merely qualifies some technical language that was required to further the legislation. It does not in any way change or modify the county's financial commitment to the project.
Thank you, Councilman. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolution for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2014-0271, authorizing a casino revenue fund loan in the amount not to exceed $4 million to Landmark May LLC for the benefit of the May Company Building project located at 158 Euclid Avenue, Cleveland.
All right, well, this has been around a while. This $4 million economic development loan to convert the May Company Building into a 350-unit apartment complex. The total project cost is $111 million. The interest rate is 3%. This item was originally introduced in 2014, at which time the developers were seeking a state historic tax credits, which unfortunately did not come through. The developers are now seeking $25 million in state historic tax credits, which will be announced before the end of 2015. The county's loan is contingent on the project receiving this historic tax credit. I think this would be a fantastic project, and I sure hope that we are able to get the tax credits from the state that will help make this a reality. Otherwise, I understand there is no plan B. Yes.
I would also like to endorse this project and wish the developers the best of success with the state tax credit and to move for approval.
Second.
All right. Moved and seconded. All those in favor, any more discussion? All those in favor say aye. 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 Any nays? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2015-0181, making an award on requisition number 34100 to Mark Schaefer Excavating and Trucking Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $4,573,614 for Cuyahoga County Airport Runway 624 Safety Area Improvements Project number 1 in connection with the Airport Improvement Program.
Move to adopt. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, this was heard in committee, and the committee recommends approval.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2015-0192, approving right-of-way plans as set forth in plat number M5022 for replacement of Avery Road Bridge number 01.16 over Chippewa Creek in the city of Broadview Heights, authorizing the county executive through the Department of Public Works to acquire said necessary rights-of-way, finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement.
Move to adopt.
Been moved and seconded.
Mr. Chairman, this also was heard in Public Works. This is the first action. This is getting the right-of-way plans, and then we'll be hearing more of it in the future.
All right, thank you. Councilman's committee has been very busy. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2015-0200, authorizing a revenue-generating agreement with First Merit Corporation in the amount of $10,321,344 for the sale of naming rights for the Cleveland Convention Center for the period November 1, 2015 through October 31, 2035.
Move to adopt. Any discussion? This is the award for the naming rights to the new convention center. It will generate over $10.3 million in revenue over the next 20 years, which will be divided with the city of Cleveland. The name will be First Merit Convention Center of Cleveland. First Merit will pay all of the costs for exterior signage. The county and the city still retain the naming rights for the Global Center. Any discussion?
Just a question, Mr. Chair, if you know, Mr. President, if this passes, will the new name go up?
Oh, the answer is there someone who may know the answer.
Vote. I was just curious. Probably before the convention, right?
So this agreement is effective November 1, and First Merit is going to get it done as soon as possible because obviously they want to get the signage up and everything. And this is effective, assuming council approves this tonight, it'll be effective November 1. So I'll be emailing them assuming it gets approved, so.
All right, well, let's see if it gets approved. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution is adopted, so go tell them. Committee report and consideration of an ordinance for second reading adoption under suspension of rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Moved and seconded to suspend the rules. Any discussion? All those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Ordinance number 2015-0013, enacting Chapter 719 of the Cuyahoga County Code to establish payroll procedures for years in which the number of pay periods exceeds the usual and customary number of pay periods, and declaring the necessity that this ordinance become immediately effective.
Mr. President. I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 2015-0013.
Second.
Seconded, Councilman Greenspan.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a recommendation from the administration to codify the infamous 27th pay issue, which we've all become too painfully familiar with this year, and I recommend adoption.
Right. Okay, well, let's going to put this one to bed.
Mr. President?
Councilman.
Will this bring it above the line at this point?
This would require not only reserving the funds, but also appropriating the funds, yes.
Okay.
All right, any other discussion? Councilman Miller.
President, just would like my name added, please.
Please add Councilman Miller's name. Councilman Germain's name. Councilman Conwell's name. Councilman Jones' name. Councilman Simon's name. Okay, well, that's enough names. All right. All those in favor of the resolution, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. We now officially have the extra payroll period codified. Any miscellaneous committee reports?
Mr. President, just to remind my colleagues, as the President alluded, we're in the middle of budget season. Below, we have 4 committees of the whole over the next 10 days to finish our work, to continue reviewing. We're wrapping up phase 2 on Thursday, and then we begin council's deliberation, phase 3, which will take place over the last 3 days of the currently scheduled budget hearing time.
All right, anybody else? Oh,
You can go ahead.
Councilman Germana.
Unexpectedly, nothing was referred to Public Works. Not that we're going on vacation. There is a meeting scheduled for November 4th at the regular time, 10 o'clock, and we're going to be discussing the alley warehouse. And so anybody that has got specific questions to be heard or sent to Public Works, we want to send them and have them prepared so they could have all the answers for us.
Councilman?
The Human Resources Appointment and Equity Committee currently still has legislation and ordinance in with PRC and their rules going to the ARB board. We have been having the prosecuting attorney, Mr. Hannon, as well as our law director, Triazi, working on this, trying to come to a resolution, and I have been promised that a resolution will be afforded by November 17th, which is my next Human Resources Committee.
Thank you. Any other?
Nothing was referred to the Health and Human Services Committee, so we will not meet next week.
Environment and Education will meet Wednesday, November 4th at 3 to hear the item that was referred tonight.
All right. All right, any other miscellaneous business before the council this evening?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Councilman?
I'd like to share with you, this morning I saw on the news on CNN, and I'm sure many of us saw about a police officer, law enforcement officer in a school in South Carolina. There was an unruly child who was disrupting the class, clearly misbehaving in some way, and would not leave the classroom. And the law enforcement officer was brought into the classroom. The young lady still would not move, and there was excessive force used to remove the child from the chair. She was, according to the video, she was thrown across the room, cuffed, and booked. Correct. And of course, as long as the news cycle lasts, they will discuss what the police officer should have done, whether his training, and have that conversation. But what occurred to me was that really wasn't the solution. The solution was what we have done at county. The school systems should have a mentor in the school, a Bob Ivory type person who, not from a criminal perspective, but one who has established a relationship with the child and deals specifically with those at-risk youth who have those emotional, human service needs at home that are spilling over into the classroom. And that type of intervention would have been much more successful than a law enforcement approach that we saw in South Carolina. So that connection came to me, and I saw that. So I wanted to share with you today that our Students of Promise, our Closing the Achievement program, led by the program director Bob Ivory, is going to be premiering a documentary this Thursday, October 29th, of their trip to Morehouse College and to a STEM company in Alabama. And again, this documentary will highlight how these children have been exposed to college graduation, to future job opportunities, again, similar at-risk youth. And again, it's appearing at the Shaker Square Cinema, again, this coming Thursday. And I wanted to share that if our staff had not already done so. I want to share that with my colleagues and with the administration. And again, invite you to attend this documentary. It will air at 6:30. Doors open at 6:30, and it begins at 7 p.m. Again, Shaker Square Cinema, 13116 Shaker Square. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, any public comment? Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm glad my colleague mentioned that. I forgot my tax form, which will be this Wednesday for 2015 proposed tax evaluations. Glenville Rec Center, that's 680 East 113th Street, and I believe it'll be from 5 to 7. We have their treasurer, and Board of Revision. We have several dynamic speakers, so if any citizens require to know more about their tax evaluation and have questions, please come. Thank you.
All right. Any public comment unrelated to the agenda?
Yes, Mr. President. First up is Mr. Perry.
Okay, good evening. Good evening. So far, in the Vote No on Sin Tax campaign, there have been 92 demonstrations for a total of 320 hours, which is the equivalent of walking over 900 miles. And what does the plain dealer have to say? Well, Stephen Litt, esteemed art and architectural critic of the plain dealer, who never reported one word I said at the June 23rd meeting, has stated multiple times on his blog that there is no organized opposition, and is now saying no visible organized opposition to Issue 8 has emerged. Well, I was at the City Club event of September 28th. There was a one-sided discussion on Issue 8. There was no seat at the table for Vote No on Sin Tax campaign in the citadel of free speech. According to the plain dealer, the CEO of City Club stated on September 28th, there's no visible organized opposition to the sin tax. It appears Mr. Litt of the PD and the City Club CEO are reading from the same notes. Well, here's a composite from the campaign, walked over equivalent of 900 miles. Does this campaign look like visible or invisible, organized or unorganized opposition to the sin tax? At the City Club meeting, there was no seat at the table, one-sided discussion, and they were very nice to let me ask one question. On Sunday, October 18th, outside the First Energy Stadium, there were chants of Vote No on Sin Tax, Go Browns, Go Browns, and like they say, our Browns almost won. 23-26, team made up, maybe up or down, Browns fans, greatest in the world, are always up. On Monday, October 19th, outside the queue, there were chants of Vote No on Sin Tax, Go Cavs, and well, our Cavs won. During my campaign, Mr. President, I meet a lot of smokers, a lot of youths. Some of them are cigarette smokers. I advise them, stay away from smoking cigarettes and marijuana, not good for you. So my message to our youth says, no on sin tax, no on marijuana, yes on two. And they are very quick to respond. No on sin tax, yes on weed, no on two. According to the Cleveland Museum, it was fair that cigarette smokers, mostly poor, young, and uneducated, gave $12 million to the ultra-rich museum, confirming the belief that money is more addictive than nicotine. However, the museum has not yet stated their position on weed. So, esteemed council, I urge you on November 3rd to vote no on sin tax, no on weed, yes on two, and let's hope, Mr. President, our efforts don't end up in smoke. I have a document for the record. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Perry. Anybody else?
Yes, Mr. Rico Dancy.
Good afternoon. I'm the vice president called Black Deaf Advocate. My corporate office in Kentucky. In the jails, they don't let the deaf people use the TTY service, okay? Last year I was in jail. They did not let me use to make one phone call. We have it called a CPA, a Citizen Police Training. The governor in Kentucky, took out the TTY service and put in the video, VRI, stand for Video Remote Interpreter, or VRS, Video Relay Service. I have talked to, when I went in jail, the corporate told me, H&O, you black, you cannot use the phone service. I said, okay, man, okay. Now, I became a member of Black Deaf Advocate. We fight for the disabled people who've been incarcerated. We want to make sure, what can we do if the city's jails, county jail, is not giving the deaf people or people with a disability the right service? I will fight this all the way through this. I'm a fighter. I'm not going to give up. It was really get me when they drugged me from my home, drugged me like I was a slave. Really get me, okay? Then they said, okay. Then some of the judges do not have an interpreter for the deaf. The attorneys, if the deaf person meet with the public defender, they do not provide an interpreter. They want the deaf people via their own service, and that's the ADA under 504, stand for American with Disability. That's a federal law. Now we want to see can county executive put in a place a video phone or VRS service for my deaf people, for my hearing impaired people. That's what we will fight for. I've been fighting this. Now, since I have a powerful position, I'm going to fight more, because tomorrow I'll be meeting with City Hall. Thursday, I'm at the Glenmore Rec Center. Someone said to listen to deaf people. They left the hearing people pick up the payphone. Fine. The deaf, they're pushed to the side. We have rights just like everybody has rights. We have a voice. Our voice got to be heard. Someone have to do something. They let the hearing people use the payphone. The deaf people that push, oh no, you're not allowed to use the phone. How do we communicate with our family? How do we communicate with the people who we love? If they're not letting the deaf people use the telephone, the TTY service, what do? We cannot sit back. We cannot let them do this anymore. I'm going to voice this. I'll voice this tomorrow. I'll voice it RTA. Can we do something here? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else?
Ms. Lou?
Good evening. Thank you for all of you being here to do all the hard work. I was here the last meeting, so I know lots of things are really going through, because all those items are in our agendas today, and you guys are still working on them. Well, I think we should all thank you for all this hard work. Just like the people having a hearing problem, they have rights. Same thing with homeless people. But I understand for you guys to schedule the hearing probably is really hard, because all the meetings are already scheduled up. Actually, now I would like to offer something a little bit extra. I would like to invite all of you to come to the women's shelter, just relax for a few hours. We can share experiences and stories. For example, I really appreciate when our Council Lady Conwell told us she was a hard worker. Even she worked in the shelter before. And this is something we really need to inspire people. Doesn't matter currently homeless or currently serving homeless. This is for everybody's good, because the problems are there, not going away. They have to be solved by people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else?
Yes, Mr. James Catalano?
I want to thank everyone for having me come here today. I kind of regret having to come here, but I want to read this to you because I need your input and I need your help. Stop wasting taxpayers' money. My name is James Catalano from Euclid, Ohio. I'm here to tell you about the ongoing corruption in Cuyahoga County. My family and I are victims of your corruption in Cuyahoga County. My intent is to find out if our family's on some kind of hit list with several of your county agencies. My family has lived in Cuyahoga County for over 100 years. My father, Michael Catalano, who died November 2011 at 89 years of age, and my uncle Anthony Catalano, who died earlier this year at age 90, both were World War II Army veterans. I'm requesting that 3 or 4 of your council members
conduct your own internal investigation on what your various departments within Cuyahoga County has done to hurt me and our family. Using our taxes that we pay the county and the county taxes collected from others don't give you the right to physically assault, abuse, hurt, disrespect me and my family. This is totally not acceptable. The latest incident occurred December 2013 when Mrs. Urban from Cuyahoga County Senior Services left me a voice message that I kidnapped my mother. My mother, Rose Catalano, and I, while living in my immaculate luxury lakefront penthouse apartment, listened to Mrs. Urban's message many times. Mrs. Urban stated that she knew me. I left the message on her voicemail that I didn't know her and left the message asking her if she had the wrong number. 3 weeks later, Judge Laura Gallagher court-ordered to have my mother removed from our luxury penthouse apartment and illegally incarcerated her. I have not seen my mother in 2 years. A few months later, Judge Gallagher caused me more physical and emotional harm when she had the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's deputies break down my penthouse apartment door, roughing me up and locking me away in the Cuyahoga County Jail for almost 2 weeks. The county sheriff deputies, they should really go after the 400 known rapists in the county and stop wasting taxpayers' money. A little side note on my illegal incarceration. If you do arrest anyone and place them in the Cuyahoga County Jail, make sure that they have a jail cell, okay? It is unacceptable to force inmates to sleep on the floor. You're just opening up yourselves to further problems down the road. Am I done, or do I have to, at the
Yes.
end?
Yes, you're done.
Okay. Well, I'll have to come back
Thank you
then.
very much.
Okay.
And please do come back.
I will.
All right, thank you, everybody, for coming. There's no further business. This committee is adjourned.